Hello Cisco, my name is Mandeep. I'll be giving this presentation as if it was a formal oral presentation, so with that being said, let's begin. $3 trillion are at risk of cyber theft or cyber terrorism in the coming decade. This is a report published by McKinsey & Company in 2013, and while this number is incredibly hard to fathom at an individual level, just imagine the kind of damage that could occur if this amount of cyber theft happened in a short period of time for our global corporations. The ensuing financial crash would affect individuals at the personal level. The irony of this is that personal interactions are what put large corporations at risk in terms of internet theft. And that is why it is absolutely crucial for proper internet security. And this presentation about Cisco security technology is going to highlight some of the key pieces of technology that Cisco offers, which allows for a seamless integration of internet security into the workplace and into your personal computing needs. Once again, my name is Mandeep Patel. I'm a mechanical engineer at the University of Texas, and this is my presentation on Cisco security technologies. So the three we're going to go over are the OpenDNS software system, adaptive security appliance software, and identity services engine. Alright, so the first piece of technology we'll be going over is OpenDNS. Now DNS simply stands for Domain Name Registry. It's a way to change the alphabetical URLs that you enter into your browser into an IP address which the router can then request the website for. So the way OpenDNS works is, it's an over-the-top security system that integrates using an API for seamless integration into existing security systems. What this means is that your current security devices can be used in conjunction with OpenDNS to provide an extra layer of security at the network level. What this allows you to do using Cisco's OpenDNS software is not only stop attacks, but also predict attacks. Because OpenDNS queries over 80 billion requests per day, it can identify the common traits of frequent attacks and then prevent those from happening on your network. Another benefit of OpenDNS is that it provides reliable protection. Since 2010, it's had 100% uptime. That's incredible considering the amount of attacks and the variety of attacks that occur through OpenDNS platforms. The companies that use OpenDNS are varied and very reputable. Companies such as BP and NVIDIA use OpenDNS. And one thing I can tell you from personal experience is that at my time at British Petroleum, using their network was of no hassle to me. It was easy for me to integrate existing devices that I would bring onto the job site and use those without any interruption, and knowing comfortably that when I use the internet, I'm not putting the network or myself at risk. So it was a lot more convenient than having to log in with a username and password every time I wanted to check my email. I knew that I was safe at a URL or DNS level, and that was really comforting to know, especially since it allowed me to focus on my work as opposed to worrying about whether or not I was at risk of an internet attack. So the way it works is very simple. It provides security at the DNS and security at the IP level. What that means is whenever you send a request out to the internet for some information or data, which could be you trying to access a website, OpenDNS filters all of that traffic through itself at the DNS and IP level. The result is any incoming information has already been filtered and scanned, and your internet router can then reroute it to computers, phones, or tablets, which is incredibly beneficial considering the number of people that bring their own devices to work nowadays. The traditional solution had a lot of flaws. The first and foremost was that most internet filters were installed on the individual device itself, so that meant your desktop computer at work could have a filtration system to prevent you from bringing in threats to the network, but your phone, which you might have brought from home, might not have that hardware or software installed, and using the network would then again put the entire network at risk. So OpenDNS is not only easy to integrate, but it's also a step up from the traditional implementation. The second piece of technology is adaptive security appliance software. The way it works is by integrating all of your hardware together into one software package in order to effectively monitor the entirety of your network. The way it works is very simple. If you have a web page that sends information to your network, adaptive security appliance software then uses the primary scanners to find known malware and block it out of your system entirely. This is beneficial because it is a first responder type of security system, and it works similar to OpenDNS, but with a higher level of fidelity. The second is the ability to do deep content analysis, structural content investigation, and virtualized script emulation. This is essentially a way for you to further scan the documents that are coming into your network and prevent them from running if they are malicious. And the last step is, if they aren't malicious, they go through to your network, and if they are, they get thrown away. And so this is a very cool way for you to take data coming in and not only scan it at the actual IP and DNS level, which only determines whether or not a website and its contents are malicious. This actually looks at the data coming into your network. So a PDF file that somebody might have downloaded or a .exe file that somebody downloaded. It actually takes that data and scans it. So Cisco and Mindtree integrated this system into the network security at Mindtree headquarters. The result was very positive. It resulted in integration with Cisco Wi-Fi hardware to increase speeds for the employees working at Mindtree. It also resulted in an easier access to the web for the employees. It prevented them from having to worry about different safety protocols before accessing the various websites they needed to in order to get their work done. And that resulted in a higher employee satisfaction, where it was easier for individuals to do the work they needed to do because they weren't worried about security risks. And this is very similar to my own personal experience at BP. The way I can analogize it for you is, if you look at the people that use MacBook computers, Steve Jobs had this philosophy where great technology is a merger of hardware and software, and he required even the internals of the first Macintosh to be laid out properly. So he required the circuit boards to be put in a way that they were completely organized, even though nobody would ever take a look at the actual circuit boards. This is very similar to what ASA does. It provides complete security and simplicity for your entire network, even though your everyday employees or everyday individuals such as myself would never have to look at a majority of the safety protocols that are happening. It's very easy for us to simply go to the website, request information. All of the back-end stuff is neatly organized in the Cisco software in order to prevent malware from entering the network. And then once it's sent through Cisco's software, it ends up back at my personal computer ready for me to use, which is a really great way for us to look at how to integrate hardware and software. In the Mindtree example, they integrated better routers to increase internet speeds and provide an even better performance for the people that are using the network. So the Identity Services Engine is a way for individuals to figure out how different people are using the internet, what device they're using it on, when they're doing it, and who that individual person is. This is incredibly valuable information. Imagine you're an employee at a new corporation and they're constantly calling you in for security meetings because a few number of individuals repeatedly violate the business policies set forth. With this type of information, the business practices could single out the individuals that repeatedly violate the security contracts and only call them in. What this allows you to do is it creates a capacity for productive members to stay productive and individuals who need additional training on internet security to receive that required training. Another benefit is location-based access. It can allow you to only allow access to specific files based on the proximity to a specific location. This is incredibly beneficial for design-based, highly secure types of data, which shouldn't be getting out to individuals at remote access points. So this is another great way for you to monitor the entirety of your network and really look at what's going on with the security of your network. The previous software packages definitely kept your network safe. This is a way for you to, as a business, plan out how to make people have better behaviors by analyzing what they're doing wrong and helping them fix it. So this is the three software packages that I'd like to talk about for this presentation. I hope that you guys picked up a lot from it. I know it was hard for me to realize how big of a deal internet security is in the corporate space at first, but then I realized everybody is on the internet at every point of the day. I carry my smartphone around, which has more power than the first moon landing shuttle had, and it's constantly connected to the internet. So it's absolutely crucial for us to prevent $3 trillion worth of theft through the internet and through malpractice at the workplace. Thank you, Cisco, for this presentation opportunity. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. My name, again, is Mandeep Patel. I'm a mechanical engineering student, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.